We'll see.
But, we'll get it done.
Is this trash meeting time?
The shop, it's on a different level.
It's not on the agenda.
Oh, that's Barbara.
Thanks, guys.
That's the old.
Hey.
That's wonderful.
I was shooting the videos I made. We had some downtime, maybe some long time. I was mad at you. It was great. We got all the way there. Took us airplane 3 times all the way. Just gonna sit down and get pushed it. I said, oh, it's all. You're sitting at there. Said, where are you from? So, you know, Las Vegas, they win. So they have a list of the yacht, which is just identical to each other. Both sail out at the same time, hit the sky at the same time. Both, we got them in the city list. I want to go on another 20 years, we'll have to save that.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, they're not cheap.
It is time. We're beyond time.
Right. It's 32.
So you're running the show, Barbara?
You've got your quorum, but she can preside over the meeting, but she can't be
The deciding vote if it's a 2-2 vote.
that is only with the mayor.
Bill paid it.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember that now.
Like to call this meeting to order, the city council meeting for Tuesday, May 27th. If you'll stand with me, I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor is not able to be with us tonight. He's not sure if he has a bug, that it's contagious. He's got a spare arm, which will maybe catching him. So, I'll try to get all this together. Thank you all for coming and welcome. Mark Hickman and Mark should be coming. Zach Jeffrey,
Here.
Jack Ball, Cal Marks,
Here.
James Snyder,
Here.
Larry Gill.
Here.
Okay. We do have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes for April 22nd and also our special meeting for May 6th, 2025.
Do we need to make separate motions for those, or can we do one motion for the combined minutes?
I think we can do one motion. Am I correct, Kristen?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to accept the meetings from both the April 22nd meeting and the May 6th special meeting. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Next thing we have is the financial statement for April 2025.
I'll make a motion to accept the financial for April 2025.
Second.
Zach Jeffrey,
Aye. Yes.
Kyle Marks,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yeah.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is ordinance 2025-03, the corrections to the Mayflower Fire Codes. And I believe that will be our Fire Marshal, Chris Matthews.
Do I need to go ahead and do the procedure rules? I move that we suspend the rules, waive the second and third reading of ordinance 2025-03, read the ordinance by title only, and vote on ordinance 2025-03 after its initial readings.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules, waive the second and third reading of ordinance 2025-03, read the ordinance by title only, and vote on ordinance 2025-03 after its initial reading. Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Tom Marks,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-03, an ordinance of the city of Mayflower, Arkansas, amending the Mayflower Municipal Code for technical corrections for the Mayflower Fire Department, declaring an emergency and for other purposes. Matt, for discussion or
Yeah,
explanation.
I move that we adopt ordinance 2025-03.
Second.
It's now discussion.
I'll be happy to entertain any questions, but the same document's been on the packet since January. So
And I think at the workshop, we went through it pretty extensively and cleaned up everything, got all the language in the final draft that I'm good with.
Thank you for the tedious work we had to go through today.
happy to do it, needed to be done.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2025-03. Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Tom Marks,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
And I believe this has an emergency clause.
Yeah, I move that we adopt the emergency clause of ordinance 2025-03.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2025-03. Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Tom Marks,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
Okay, the next item we have is resolution 2025-20, the cleanup of 22 Brevis Circle. I believe that's our fire marshal, Chris Matthews.
Be more than happy to discuss it, but nothing's changed, since the workshop regarding that property. I'll be happy to entertain any questions anyone has.
Resolution 2025-20, a resolution ordering the cleanup and repair of property located on 22 Brevis Circle and declaring the intent of the city to bring the property up to city code or demolish it if the owner does not.
I'll make a motion to adopt 2025-20.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-20. Any further discussion? Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Tom Marks,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
Okay, the next item is resolution 2025-21, the cleanup of 205 Jackson Avenue. And again, this is one that's proposed by our fire marshal, Chris Matthews.
Resolution 2025-21, a resolution ordering the cleanup and repair of property located at 205 Jackson Avenue, declaring the intent of the city to bring the property up to city code or demolish it if the owner does not.
Same issue, there's been some minor progress since last we talked about this property, but there are still issues. So I request we move forward, add a little more enforcement to it, get them over the finish line.
I'll make a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-21.
Second.
Resolution, excuse me.
Well, Mark,
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-21. Is there further discussion? Mark, are you with us on that one?
Yes,
Ready to vote?
I'm
Okay.
pulling this up.
Mark Hickman?
Stand by. Can you come back to me? I'm just pulling this up so I get you in the right number.
It's the 21, resolution 21 for the Jackson Avenue property cleanup.
Yes.
Zach Jeffrey?
Yes.
Hal North?
Yes.
James Snyder?
Yes.
Larry Hill?
Yes.
The next item is ordinance 2025-09, amending the Heart of Mayflower lot size. Again, this is another proposal, I think according to the council's recommendation by our fire marshal, Chris Matthews. So,
Yes, I move that we suspend the rules, waive the second and third reading of ordinance 2025-09. Read the ordinance by title only and vote on ordinance 2025-09 after its initial reading.
we have a motion and a second to suspend the rules, waive the second and third reading of ordinance 2025-09, read the ordinance by title only, and vote on ordinance 2025-09 after its initial reading. Okay. Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Hal North,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
Ordinance 2025-09, an ordinance of the City of Mayflower, Arkansas, amending Chapter 14 of the Municipal Code regarding zoning requirements, declaring an emergency and for other purposes.
I move that we adopt ordinance 2025-09.
Second.
Not a question. It says P/C. What is that?
On the ordinance itself, that's.
Permissible condition.
Yes,
Permitted-
conditionally
condition,
permitted.
Okay.
It originally said no wider than 40 feet, so we had to change that, and we did vote it on the overlay with the other ordinance. It's a cleanup ordinance.
That looks like the only change.
It is.
We have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 2025-09. Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Hal North, James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
The next item on the agenda.
Have you voted the emergency clause on
Sorry.
it?
It is emergency.
Yes.
I move that we accept the emergency clause of ordinance 2025-09.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the emergency clause of ordinance 2025-09. Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Hal North,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
Next item is resolution 2025-22, flight pump for pump station A, and I believe that is our water wastewater superintendent, Rex Arnold. Do you have any questions? If you want to read the title.
Is it called flight? Flight?
Flight,
Okay. Resolution 2025-22, a resolution authorizing purchase of a 20 horsepower flight pump for pump station.
Is this the bypass pump, Raymond, or is this the replacement
This
pump?
is the replacement pump. We had, back in the workshop, not this past workshop, but the workshop before that, we had an issue with already one pump, and then we had another pump go down, and we needed to get a new pump put back into that station, and that's this pump right here. We done a bypass pump for emergencies only. We never had to use that. pump, and matter of fact, we returned that rental pump today. And we do have the new pump in service. We're just waiting on Jack Tyler to come and do a startup on it.
On this one, looking at the 20 horse, is that what it's replacing or what was, I remember the
replacing
30,
the
40
20
horse pump somewhere, or is
Yeah, we're replacing the 20 horse.
replacing a 20 horse, so it's the same, okay.
I was kind of hoping, we wouldn't have any issues with that pump station until, we got the new pump station in place. Which still always ways out. Anyway, it happened. And I had told you that I would get resolutions for that pump, and I actually skipped I forgot about it, because I was supposed to have it on the city council agenda last month, and then I remember, I didn't even get a resolution for the city council on that pump.
Gotcha. Well, I move that we adopt resolution 2025-22.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 2025-22. Mark Hickman,
Yes.
Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Kyle Mark. James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
The next item on the agenda is an invoice from App Engineering Firm. And I believe our treasurer, Crystal, had to.
We
Any
just received, we just received this invoice, but on the invoice it says it's from last year, September of last year.
So was this on the vineyard, on the phase 2 engineering?
Yes.
But we thought we were all paid up on that.
We did, we thought we were all paid up. And I guess that it's actually another party that billed them late. So they just bill us late. When did we get that, Ms. Fay, that email?
The invoice date was 5/16.
Yeah. And the service dates on the invoice are from September of last year.
That's what I was trying to look at, the service dates. I mean, I'm looking, it says professional services through April 30th, 2025, but where are the actual service dates? Where am I missing that on the?
It looks like they're right next to the.
Oh, got it on that column.
Let's see, September 2024.
Yes. Jimmy, I know you were in on that. Does that look correct to you? Is that something you?
Jimmy, did you get this in your packet? Your email packet?
And that's on the vineyard.
I'm assuming
Yeah, it had it.
from September, that falls in line with about whenever we
Yeah,
kind of took them off a retainer.
that's right.
It just seems weird that 8 months down the road, you get an invoice for something that was,
Money in the bank.
That's the service dates.
that's just what's not sitting right with me.
Yeah.
If we owe the money, we need to pay the bill. I just,
We need to make sure that we owe that money. Congratulate, Freedom, of course. How did we come about that? You probably need to look at that before you pay it. Are you sure that we owe the money? I mean, is it, they just sent us a bill? Okay, that's what I
They
thought.
just sent us a bill for last, I wasn't happy about it either.
Let's look at it before we vote.
yeah,
I'll get with Mayor Crystal, help look into it. I don't know, for this position, of course, it needs to be approved, so that's why it's sitting on
Sure.
the agenda for today, so I like that part, but but you can table it.
I'll make a motion to table.
It's been this long without being paid.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, it's 9 months, they must not have been too worried about getting it.
Well, the invoice date is 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, I mean, just take it. It's obviously not a priority.
It's more
for
do we need to make a
clarification about
motion
what
for
the
that, or
bill
do we just do it?
I've got a motion to table.
I'll second.
And it was past our workshop meeting, so that's the only thing we could do was
Mhm.
put it on this agenda.
No, and again, if we owe the money, if the service has been rendered, then we need to pay the bill, but I'd like to, a little more in-depth about what those services were in 8 months ago.
Yeah, why we get the bill?
We could probably do it in the form of a resolution too, so we will have
Mm-hmm.
it. Okay, all in favor of tabling it, say aye.
All right.
The next item on the agenda is the overlay of street paving. And I believe that's gonna be of our street superintendent, Jimmy Johnson, and he can explain this.
Okay, on this state overlay project, we can go two ways on it. We can go, yeah. The streets, we can keep it under 400,000. Or I can get all the streets that I'm wanting to do in with this, but it's gonna cost us another 81,000.
What streets are you wanting to do?
Like Gandy Lane, that's something we gotta address for that new subdivision. And the south end of Center Street. That's two of them that I added on to it. And I thought I was still on 400,000, but by the time they go through all of their contractors and everything, it added up to 480,000. So either I can go back and redo this and we can keep it under 400,000. Or we can add these streets to it,
For the additional 80,000 beyond the 400 that's gonna be
Yes.
repaid from the state.
yes. And y'all should have
But that'll be repaid from the state, by the state.
400,000 of it. The 81 will be on us.
Yeah.
But while they're here, I was gonna try to get as much as I could done for $122 a ton. Most of these guys can't even buy it for that.
We've
Let
got,
alone
both-
getting it late.
we've got that additional 80,000 in the 1% fund.
Oh, yeah.
So I read that and I had some questions. I should have called you before the meeting. I apologize, but, you're talking about the project that we just approved that we're actually going to get.
Not North Main.
Okay.
That's not in this. This is that, grant we got. Overlay. It's a state maintenance overlays. About every 3 years we get it, and it's been 300,000. But this year went up 100. This time.
Okay.
And I have got to turn this into them is the reason I'm asking y'all which way y'all wanna go. If y'all want me to keep it under 400,000, we can. Or I can add these other streets while they're here and just,
Pay the difference.
yeah, be $81,000 difference.
Well,
It would have to come out of the 1%.
I think we're getting to the point where we got several neighborhoods that need to be
Oh, yeah.
repaved.
You-
And the further we go with these, the worse off it's going to get.
Yeah.
And
Each
so,
one of these streets need
Yeah.
to be paved.
so,
They're in neighborhoods. They're
I mean,
not subdivisions.
right.
They're in neighborhoods.
so I'd rather go ahead and do it, myself.
Okay. Well,
If I'm correct on that, they will award it in September, but they do the
Yes.
payment next year.
Yes, we won't know until the fall. But we're real good prospects in it. But once I present this to them, that's what they put in for that overlay. Right? And, I mean, he sent it to me Thursday, all this. So I had to push it on Barbara, which she got it out, but I don't know if she got it out in time for y'all to actually decide on it. But he wanted an answer Thursday, and I told him, I said, I can't make that call. I've got to get the council to make that call.
So the leftover would be like 82 grand, and we have over $1 million in the 1% street fund.
Right.
This is what that is for.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we've already got, it'll cost us more to get them back out here.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if I was to beat it out, it could be up to 150.
So it almost double what we
Exactly.
pay, so, yeah, that makes no sense.
This is on their contract,
Yes.
so
So,
they're willing to do that.
Yeah.
If we decide.
And adding that to
The $400,000 grant.
that doesn't hurt at all, that doesn't hurt our chances of getting that grant at all.
No, matter of fact, it's even better.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got something in the game.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds great for me. I mean,
And we don't have to pay it out until next year.
yeah, and we don't have to, if it's gonna cost half as much to have us go ahead and do that, then we bring it back out again in the future.
I make a motion, we do the whole thing.
Second.
So just need to make a recommendation, the resolution 2025 dash.
Can vote it, I'll write it up for the records.
Okay.
Next time, yes.
All right, well, thank you.
Let's get them done.
That was
Yes,
that was easier to do, thought it was.
it was. I was sweating, buddy.
Let's take a vote to be sure. Mark
Okay.
Hickman,
Yes.
Zach Jeffrey,
Yes.
Kyle Martin,
Yes.
James Snyder,
Yes.
Larry Hill.
Yes.
So it's approved, but we'll have a resolution for the next council meeting.
Yes, yes, yeah. It might be when we email it
Yes.
about the details of it.
Thank you, Al.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, the old business, I just put this on the agenda as a reminder. The RFP, the water board, and A&P tax. That's just a reminder.
So on the RFP, I don't think we've gotten any proposals in since the workshop. I know there's one pending. Can't do a lot till we get one in, at least one quality in to look at. Water board, I would like to make a proposal for the water board. I said during the workshop that I would reach out to the two community members that we had kind of tasked with coming on with the councilman. They are both still on board. Said, let us know when we're having a meeting. I would make a proposal for an initial meeting. If it works for everybody here, we have a June 12th workshop meeting. And while certainly we'll have business during that June 12th workshop meeting, if everyone's available, we could meet an hour early and meet for a water board meeting at 5:30 on that night, have an hour of water board meeting prior to the council workshop. I can contact those two gentlemen and see if that works for them and their schedule. Didn't put it out there yet to them because obviously we haven't set a meeting, but wanted to run that by you guys and see how you felt about that.
About time,
I said 5:30.
I think so. I think an hour prior to our regular workshop meeting, we'll all be here anyway. We can roll right into it. 6:12.
Okay.
It's also vacation season, so if either one of those gentlemen are out of town, we may have to renegotiate that day, but
And the A and P tax, I just put down as a reminder, that was something we wanted to work on at a future workshop meeting.
Yes, I think we need an entire workshop dedicated to that A&P tax.
What would be wrong with having this June 12th? The hour before that, having the water board meeting. Then after that, let's do the A&P tax. Because that way, those are big items that we can go ahead and get it knocked out and get in place.
I don't know of anything else on the agenda for the June workshop, so I'd be fine with that. And
For my thoughts, you could,
I sent my whole evening aside for you gentlemen. Cause I don't know it.
in my opinion, if we
something that needs discussed, we can schedule it in, I think, but
could put other stuff, a few other stuff on there, that kind of tentative things, that if we don't get to, we don't get to. If we do, we do. Is that okay?
That agreed with everything? Next on our agenda, we have, Mr. Antonio Jamison that asked to address the council this evening.
How y'all doing? Thank y'all for having us again. Basically, I have most of my after-school program kids and family, and we just been waiting on an answer to see, and we rent out the senior citizens community center. Our program, we are a licensed 501c3. We've been incorporated since 2016, and we are in partnership with the Arkansas Department of Education on a state and federal level, and have been seeking partnership with Mayflower School District, that it still hasn't happened after 3 years. And we have helped plenty of kids with social emotional needs and giving them a good sense of trying to be somebody in life. And we just wanted to see, can we rent out the storm shelter? We have a $2 million insurance policy. We are licensed facilities, so DHS come in and make sure we're doing everything right. All our staff is FBI checked and approval through DHS, and we have our families to tell you a testimony about us helping the kids. And right now, we need a good spot, for at least 4 more years. So we had got approved for a 5-year funding with the Arkansas Department of Education 21st Century Community Grant. It's a big deal. We one of 87 across the state of Arkansas. We 1 or 2 in Fulton County. And it's a community grant for the kids. And with Mayflower not having a Boys and Girls Club, nor YMCA, we've been here, and we just want to ask for grace to let us, our kids, as you see, they sit down. They've been in here since 5 o'clock. They're gonna be new authors in Mayflower. So 2 years ago, we created, with Barry here to support us, we created 11 new authors. This year, we're gonna have 10 more. And so we're doing big things, and I'm gonna turn it over to Martina.
Well, it's just that we've been asked several times, to form a partnership with the school, and they're not cooperating in doing that. So we're gonna have to find another option if we want to remain open and working with the kids, which we do, passionately do, for 4 more years. So we're asking for the use of the senior citizens building. And like you said, we've got our kids here, well behaved, have been here for hours working on that, and now this is, the stuff here that had on the bearing of them whatsoever, but the parents are here too. And we do good work. We work with these kids, and we've been doing 3 days a week working with these kids, and they're awesome.
I'm not sure, did the mayor take the lead on this? Was he the one who was going to take the lead on this project? I don't think he assigned it to any one of us.
he didn't. There was a lot to be negotiated as per our last, at the workshop when we discussed, just as far as, what, does the building fit the needs of your program completely? Is there a better place that could be utilized? That sort of thing. But then too, what even would a rate look like? Because as it stands now, I think We've got another 501c3, a church that uses it 2 days a week, that even if it wasn't in conflict with it, I think the pricing would need to fall in line with it. Otherwise, you're showing preferential to one versus the other. You kind of got to keep that the same. And with what they're paying, I believe it works out to about $867 a month, is what the
And-
church is paying.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he's here, Pastor Freddie's not here, so I'll just speak on his behalf. I don't think he would be upset if Mr. Jameson received a discount and ended up paying less than the church is paying. So I understand.
No, I'm just all the things that need to be considered before
Yeah.
we just.
Consistency for sure, I get what you're saying, but the church would not take offense if Mr. Jameson received a lower rate than the church was.
Well, and then I embarrassingly say I don't know that much about that building, but as far as like the sound equipment, I know we have several $1,000s worth of sound equipment over there. Does that belong to the city? Does it belong to the church?
See,
If that sound equipment, I know that's covered under there, but there would have to be some stipulations in the rental agreement about what sorts of things look like as far as use of that equipment, protection of that equipment. Listen, as a middle school teacher myself, I know kids can get rowdy even under the best of supervision. And if we've got WWE going on over there with $10,000 worth of sound equipment, then obviously it poses an issue. I know the insurance pays it. We'd rather not file an insurance claim if we can be preventative on the front end of it.
The problem here is Mr. Jameson came and he made a presentation at the workshop.
Yes.
And we haven't had an opportunity to
We
discuss
haven't.
the matter. As a council, we presented it to the mayor. Everyone seemed to be positive on this, but we have to take it as a council and we have to look at it. And there are certain things that we're gonna have to discuss before we can, give you yes or no. But it's a very positive direction that you're going in. We appreciate everything that you folks have done in this community, because that's community building is what you're doing and working with young people. There's nothing more important that we do as adults or as a family or as a community. But we're gonna have to discuss it, and we have not at this point, Mr. James.
And let me be fair, I'm not just throwing out excuses here. These are some things since 2 weeks ago when we spoke, and we haven't had a meeting since.
No.
That since then that have come to my mind as things we need to address, either in a proposal or a contract or lease agreement that would go along with this. So to come out and say tonight that we could vote and say, yes, we go forward. I told you at the last meeting, I'm positive about this. I don't think we're where we can make that decision tonight.
The mayor has to be here to be involved in it too, and in the discussion.
Can you all give us a date, like, we do have federal deadlines and for the upcoming school year. I talked to the mayor, I don't know, 3 days ago or whenever I called Mr. Anderson. He was like, he don't have no say in anything. And, but we very patient, but right now, we don't have a home for the kids. And, we just want, a little grace.
What do your deadlines look like, Mr. Jameson, as far as what you need to put in where you would need an answer?
Well, to be honest, it's May 31st, but the state has gave us grace because even the state Arkansas Department of Education has been trying to discuss partnership with us in the school board. I mean, with the school district, but it's not going anywhere. So, and we just right now, ain't no way we're gonna be able to have first summer camp in June. So just whenever y'all make a decision, we just need to know which way to go. If it's no, we'll respect it. But we just need to know which way we'll go, or we could let our funders know, cause like it is federal funding, and but we got about 5 advisors that we got to report to, and we would like to let our kids know, they was going swimming and getting CPR certified this summer. And right now, everything's on hold because we can't get a partner